the youth in this country must go into farming. Now, this is one of the common statements you hear from so-called leaders and successful people in our society, especially online across this country and this continent, and that is what they suggest, that the youth should go into agriculture. But on the podcast today, I want to share my opinion on this common statement, and I want you to be mindful of this and stay with me carefully. It is my opinion. You can decide to agree or to disagree with me. That is not my concern. It is my opinion. And I want to provide you with valuable skills and alternative ways so that you can become successful if really you want to become successful. Listen to me. We don't need our youth to go into farming, period. Our youth in this country, Ghana, cannot go into farming. Now, you think farming is like what? Walking to Melcom to buy tea bread or buy an ice cream at the mall? Or you think farming is what? So you get up, you say, oh, go into farming. Then there is a land somewhere. So you go and see the chief and say, oh, His Royal Majesty, I want to go into farming. Then they say, okay, this is 15,000 hectares of land. Then you start. Our youth must not be into farming. We cannot push the youth of this country, Ghana, into farming. That is not the way to deal with unemployment. That is not the way to build the nation. That is not the way we can become successful as people. Now, let me share this with you very well so you understand exactly what I'm trying to say here. We don't need our youth to go into farming. The problem of this country is that we have a broken education system. Our education system, right from the beginning to the highest level, is structured in such a manner not to bring the best out of the individuals, out of students, out of the citizens, generally. So irrespective of what you studied in H&D, or technical university or first degree or MBA or even on the PhD level, you find out that people go through the system without really learning anything significant. Because at the end of the day, people possess the certificate, have their name on the certificate, but they don't have anything in their brain. Majority of the graduates from our tertiary institutions have nothing to show with the so-called certificates that they have in their hand. Why is that? It is because of our broken education system. Because we are in a system where, people can pay 2,000, 3,000 to have somebody do their project work for them, do their thesis for them, and they present it and they've done well, they get a marks, they graduate, yeah, I have MBA, I have first degree, I have HND, oh, to God be the glory, but they have nothing in their head. Because tell me how you can go to the university, tell me how you can graduate with an MBA, tell me how you can be somebody with an HND and you don't have any skill apart from the so-called paper that you have in your hand. That is why people are suggesting that the youth should go into farming. But like I said, the youth cannot go into farming. Listen to me. Farming requires investment. Farming requires funding. And people who have finished their HND, finished their first degree with their MBAs, cannot have the financial capacity to start any farm. Now, I know somebody will say, oh, it starts small. You can start with backyard garden. In which city, which area in Accra do you see a backyard? How many communities in this country that you see a backyard? And you think backyard farming can make you wealthy? You think backyard farming can change your life? You think backyard farming can cause you to become successful? No. Basic agriculture, right from the junior high school or JHS, tells us that the purpose of backyard farming is so that you can grow your own crops and use in your own house. Backyard farming is not the solution to the problems of unemployment in this country. We cannot push the youth into farming. What does that mean then? It means that whatever certificates that you have right now, maybe you were looking for a job and you're like, oh, Nhyira, I am looking for a job. I've searched job all over the places. I've attended the interviews, but I'm not being employed. Yes, because many of the companies are not even employing any longer, especially because of the system that we have now, new taxes that have been introduced, and it is likely that many companies will even start laying off people and downsizing because they cannot keep up with the operational cost and also with a lot of taxes that government is levying. What it means is that in order for you to become successful, farming is not the way to go, because farming requires money, which you don't have. So in order for you to become successful, maybe you have to rethink your strategy. You need a skill. Listen, the world is looking for skillful people, not people with certificate. So I don't care the school you attended, or I respect all the schools available. I'm an educator myself, so education is something that I'm really excited about. However, irrespective of the university you attended, the degree you have, the MBA you have, the HND you have, that is not what the job market is looking for. That is not what companies are looking for. Companies are looking for skills. So maybe you learned purchases and supply. Maybe you learned business administration. Maybe you learned HR. You learned marketing. Maybe you studied something about something else that I don't even know about. But there is no job available. Instead of you sitting down and listening to so-called people telling you, do this, do that, you have to rethink your strategy and learn a skill. Ask yourself right now, what skill do you have? Because the world is looking for skillful people. The solution on a broader or national level is we need a restructuring of our education system, number one. And number two, we need a restructuring of our system as a whole. Try to start a business in this part of the world, Ghana, and go to the bank and say, I'm looking for money to start a business. You will not get it. You want to go into farming, right? You have 17 hectares of land. Write a proposal, send it to the bank and say, hey, bank, I'm going into farming. I'm going into rearing of crops. I'm going into fish farming. I'm going into this. Give me some money and see if you will get. Even if you are able to go through and they are ready to give you some money, the interest rate alone would deter you, because they will be willing to give you the money at a higher interest rate. Now, where we are now, we are looking at an average of 35%, 40% interest rate. Where is the money? There is no money. So there has to be a systemic change on the overall. Our educational system has to be changed. But who is going to change that? I don't know. But whilst we wait for that systemic change, whilst we wait for whoever that is going to come, whatever government that is going to come, to really have practical educational system, better systems in place to ensure there is funding available for rising entrepreneurs and businesses to help people to go into various things, you have to take your life into your own hands and build some skills. So let me share with you a couple of industries that you can be looking out for. Advertising and marketing, you need skills. Right now, there is online marketing, there is social media management. Every company has to be online. You need to be able to have some knowledge on advertising and marketing. It's an industry that is paying. So put aside the paper you got from the university and learn some practical skills that can work in the job market and provide you with numerous opportunities that you can make money. Now, under advertising and marketing, we have creative directors, we have copywriters, we have graphic designers, we have marketing coordinators, we have social media coordinators. All these are under marketing and advertising. Computer and technology, application developers, computer programmers, information security analysts, software engineering, web development. All these are under computer and technology. AI, everything is going on. You have to learn some skills because people are looking for this. Entertainment is an area that you can look out for. It's an area. Theater manager, actor, actresses, booking agent, film crew, photographers. Entertainment is an industry. Do you know that in this country, Ghana, If by any chance we get any serious government that commits to develop our football sector in this country, Ghana, do you know the jobs that it can create? Imagine all the football clubs have the pitches they need, are well organized, are well structured. Imagine there is a program available where there is marketing of the Ghana Premier League, there is marketing of the Division 1 Premier League, there is intense marketing and attraction, there will be more investment into it. Do you know how many jobs that can create? That is a sector that is very important. Fashion, very critical. Textile designer, fashion designer, stylist, food and beverages. Do something. A cook, executive chef, restaurant manager, bartender, healthcare, hospitality. Now, some of these things will require some certifications as well as some practical skills job. Others will not require you going to any formal school, and you can study on your own and start making some money. So if you are sitting on the fence and you have your certificate in your CV in your hand, and every day you are praying, God help me, God, I need a job, God, I need a job, God, I need a job, sit down and rethink to develop a skill. Now, you can learn a lot of skills online these days. YouTube, there are a lot of content available there that you can learn to build a skill. Web development, voiceover artists, how to create. People are creating content and posting on social media and making a living out of it. But do you know your problem? You are full of yourself. You feel you have an MBA. You feel you have a first degree. You feel you have attended school, so you are big. And so you want to be in the office. Let me tell you, you need to come to the realization and face the reality at hand. Your MBA cannot save you. Your first degree, it's in the garbage. You have to be realistic and find out what really is working today. So like I keep on saying all the time, maybe you love cooking. You love cooking and you are good at it. When you prepare a meal, you bake a cake, or you do something in the kitchen, your friends, your family, they're in love with it. You are looking for a job with your MBA. Why the heck won't you start a restaurant? Okay, that's too big, right? Why the heck won't you become a food content creator online? Do you know how much money you can make on that? But again, you want to be in the corporate world. You want to wear a suit. You want to work every day. You want people to know that, you are doing something, but there is nothing in it. So all I'm saying is this. We don't need our youth in Ghana to go into farming. That is not what we need. We need people with skill. Go to the United Arab Emirates. Go to China. Go to Singapore. Go to Malaysia. You think the youth there are being pushed into farming? Hell no. Ghana is a country a little above 32 million. We need less than 100,000 people to be into farming, and we will be well as a country. Because we don't need number of people. We need mechanized farming. We need to leverage on technology so that we can grow and produce what has to be produced. But that is not available. So everything is human labor, human effort, macho. Where will you reach? You cannot reach anywhere. So that is what I want to share with you today. That the youth of this country cannot go into farming. That is not the wisest thing to do, in my opinion. And like I said in the introduction, this is my opinion. You can disagree, you can agree. But make sure you respect yourself. If you disagree, make sure you respect yourself and share your thoughts. But I've provided you with some things that you need to understand. That you need a skill. Develop a skill and start doing it. Go and ask people who are social media influencers. Go and ask them. People like Kojo Sheldon, people like Zion Felix, people like Sammy Flex, people like Wademaya. Go and ask them, when they were children, if they dreamt of doing what they are doing now. They will tell you no. 99.9% of the time, that's not their dream. But they have developed themselves to become what they are because they tapped into an opportunity, built their skills, tried, and now they are providing employment to people. Listen to me. Your certificate will not save you. If you can reduce or put aside your certificate and become somebody who will be realistic and look at the situation in the eyes of how it is, I can guarantee you, you will become successful. So the youth cannot be pushed into farming. As we wait for the national change, individually, take your life into your own hand, build some skills. There are people in Ghana working with companies outside of Ghana. Why? Because they have skills. Why? Because they have something that the market is looking out for. Maybe it is time for you to set aside your certificate, set aside your degree, put aside your HND, the MBA that you pay thousands of Ghana cedi for. Maybe it's time to put it aside and sit down and think about your life and look at the opportunities available, leveraging on your skills and find out what the heck can I do to make money and live a comfortable, fruitful life. If you can't think that way, I can guarantee you, you will become successful, because depending and waiting for jobs, you may not be able to get it. Why? Because there is lack of skills for the certificates that you might be holding. Thank you for joining me. Let me know in the chat box, what do you think, what do you make of this particular topic? Like I said, this is my opinion. You can agree, you can disagree with me, but make sure you respect yourself and do not pass any insulting or make any statements that will not help the community to grow. If you disagree, make your statement. If you agree, make your statement. But the most important thing is this: ensure that you have a skill. And there are a lot of skills you can learn for free on YouTube, on Coursera, and that is how you can become successful as an individual. I will catch you in the next podcast as we continue with our discussion.